Okay, so hi everyone. Hopefully you've had a lovely afternoon so far. And thank you, Caitlin, for having me here. So I am a big believer of getting everyone involved during these calls. I know that personally, if nothing is happening for about 15 minutes, I stop paying attention. So for the purpose of the session, I will actually ask you to get involved. So we're going to play a quiz and we're going to do a breakout room activity as well. And hopefully you'll have an enjoyable hour with me. So really quickly, before I get into the content, to give you a bit of context about what I do. So I work for the Social Switch Project. And back in the day, very long time ago in 2019, when the world was normal, we were launched by Google and we used to deliver sessions at Google Academy, which TechPathways was a part of as well. But now everything kind of moved to the online world, obviously, and we're now also supported by the Mayor of London's VRU. And the whole idea of the project kind of came about when Google was trying to find different ways to address some of the issues that of the online world and of social media, some of the online harms, but also to try and switch the narrative on social media and what it is for young people, what it means actually to use social media for young people. And so the training that I deliver, I usually deliver to professionals who work with young people to try and change their minds a little bit on, on social media. I think a lot of the time, especially with educators, a lot of the time, you go straight away to online harms and straight away thinking of all the negatives that come from the online world. But my job is to kind of trying to get everyone thinking about some of the positives for young people as well on using social media. And we also have training sessions for young people on digital careers, and we had a grant pot that we distributed to grassroots organizations. So we've been doing a lot of different things in these last few years. If you want to know more, I'm happy to link you to the website or for Caitlin to share my details. But I've tried to reduce my normally 4 hour training to a quick 1 hour, and we're gonna mostly focus on some of the positives of social media. So we're going to play a little quiz and look at some popular apps. I'm going to ask you to discuss a few of these apps in more detail. We're also going to take a really quick look on how to start a conversation with a young person about social media and how to find some resources around app privacy and community guidelines. And I'm also going to cover a little bit about how important social media can be for young people's personal development. And at the end, we're going to learn some simple tips on how to have a more positive time online. Okay, so I think before I get into the apps, it's really useful to have a quick think about what it is to be a young person and what's kind of going on for young people. And for the purposes of talking about these apps, I've identified these 4 things to focus on. So the first one is risk and motivations for thrills. So young people are more likely to take risks, and that definitely applies to social media and the online world. So think sexting, or sharing explicit videos, or sharing violent videos, or examples of groups of young people using social media to wind each other up, to rile each other up and challenge each other. Then short-term gains. I'm sure those of you who use social media know what it is, what it's like to, have a look at your phone and see that your Instagram picture is getting all these likes, and you get that hit of dopamine when you see it. Social media short-term gains are in abundance and they're immediate. So it provides young people an immediate reward in the form of attention from others online. And then emotional regulation. So adolescence and being a young person, you're going through a period of working through a range of heightened emotions. You're more likely to be sensitive to what's going on. You're more likely to be sensitive to criticism online, and you're more likely to be reactionary as well. And then desire for independence. So a lot of apps that when we think about them, and where young people think that adults don't really go there, they don't really understand what's going on, and it can be quite liberating for young people using these online spaces. So thinking about those things, I think it's going to kind of make a bit more sense as we go through taking a look at some apps and the way that young people do use social media as part of their everyday lives. So we're going to play a Kahoot quiz. I'm going to explain to you how it works if you've never played it, but hopefully most of you have played it before. Let me just start it off. All right, so the way this works is you'll need a different device that you're watching this training on, so ideally your phone, and then you go to the website kahoot.it. You don't need the app. It's not kahoot.com, it's kahoot.it. And then you put in the game pin that's on my screen. So that's 3360189. And then you put in your name or a nickname or whatever you fancy. So I'll give everyone a few minutes to join. I don't know if the music is annoying or not. Um, do let me know if it is. I'm very desensitized to it at this point. But yeah, the way this game is going to work is I'm going to give you a description of an app, and you're going to have to select the correct icon of the app. So not the name, but the icon. The answers will only appear on my screen, so whichever device you're watching this training on, and then you have to select the correct answer on your phones. It's all color coded, so it should be nice and easy. Do try to answer as quickly as possible. There will be a podium of winners at the end. So I'll give it another 30 seconds or so, or another minute for everyone to join. Okay, maybe I will reduce the music a little bit. There we go. All right, if anyone is still joining, let me know in the chat. If not, I'll make a start. All right. The pin will stay on the bottom of the screen anyways, if you're joining late. But all right, I'll make a start. So you have 20 seconds to answer each of these. So the first one is a private messaging app that's best known for photos and short videos that are automatically deleted after they're viewed. So nice and easy one to start with. It started off as a private messaging app, and that's best known for photos and short videos that are automatically deleted after they're viewed. Okay, so most of you got that right. So it is the yellow ghost icon, and it is, of course, Snapchat. There's a lot of different functionalities to Snapchat now, and I will ask you to talk about Snapchat more in breakout rooms. But it did start off as an app where the content that you sent got deleted after it was viewed. Okay, so hopefully you got the gist. So the second one is an anonymous question and answer app that is used within Snapchat. So an anonymous question and answer app that is used within Snapchat. Okay, so some of you got that one right. So it is the yellow icon that says YOLO on it, and the app is called YOLO. And it works within the world of Snapchat, and you can post anonymous questions and comments on people's Snapchat stories. Now, I know this sounds very obscure, but it's actually really, really popular at the moment amongst young people. Okay, next one. So this is an online gaming platform and game creation system that allows users to program games and to play games created by others. So an online gaming platform where not only you can play games, but you can also program your own games. Okay, more of a mixed bag of answers for this one. So the correct one is the last one, which is the little figure running from a helicopter. And the app is called Roblox. So it's been around for a while, but it's become really, really popular recently amongst younger kids. And they can kind of program their own games within the world of the app. So it's quite an interesting one to look out for, especially if you have kids yourselves. Okay, so this is a chat service designed for creating communities, and is a lot of the times used by gamers to play with others in real time. So it's a chat service that's designed for creating communities or channels and a lot of the time it's used by gamers to play with others in real time. Okay, so more of you need this one. So it is the purple round icon. That's the correct one. The app is called Discord. Again, it's been around for a while. It's become really popular recently, and it used to kind of just be for gamers to communicate with each other when they were playing online games. But everyone seems to be on it now, including celebrities that have their own channels and stuff like that. So it's really, really popular at the moment as well. Okay, so using Snapchat to connect, users have 10 seconds to live video chat with strangers. So on this app, you have 10 seconds to live video chat with strangers. And again, it works just in the world of Snapchat. Okay, much more of a mixed bag of answers again. So the correct one is the first one, is the purple icon with the monkey head. The app is called Monkey. Wow, I keep changing who's in the first place constantly, but Caitlin's in first place at the moment, halfway there. So the app is called Monkey, and just like YOLO, it works within the world of Snapchat. And once you're on the app, it connects you with someone else on the app, and you have 10 seconds to chat to them via live video. All right, halfway there. So this is an app that lets you stream and watch live broadcasts. And again, it's mostly used by the gaming community. So it's a live streaming service. It's an app that lets you watch and stream yourself doing something as well. So the correct one is the purple icon. The service is called Twitch. It's a live broadcasting service, and again, it's been around for a really long time, and it kind of used to be a place for people to stream themselves playing video games. But in lockdown, everyone is on it as well. I use it to watch DJ sets on weekends. It kind of makes you feel like you're there a little bit. But it's a really good service. I do recommend you check it out if you've never heard of it before. Okay, so this app lets you create, share, and discover 15 or up to 60-second videos, and you can use music and effects to enhance them. And I'm going to assume that most of you have at least heard of this app, if not are on this app yourselves. Absolutely right. So it is, of course, none other than TikTok. We will be looking at TikTok after this. I'll ask you to discuss it more in rooms. And I do kind of talk about it quite a bit. I have been accused of being sponsored by them. I am not yet, but I am in talks of being sponsored by them, maybe sometime in the future. But I think TikTok is one of those apps that during the first lockdown, everyone downloaded it, and everyone was on it for a while. Whether you're still on it now or not depends, I guess, on how useful you found it. But it is a really good one. So this is a way for groups to connect via live video. 2 to 8 people can be in a chat together at the same time, and you can also play games with each other. So a way for groups to connect via live video, and up to 8 people can be in a room together at the same time. Okay, so the correct answer is the wavy hand icon. The app is called House Party. So again, one of those apps that exploded in popularity last year. If you've never used it before, you can go into rooms and kind of talk to your friends. And the idea of it is that you feel like you're all in one house party together. Okay, second to last. So this app lets you exchange anonymous, encrypted, and content expiring messages, including photos, videos, and file attachments. So it lets you exchange anonymous, encrypted, and content expiring messages that include photos, videos, and file attachments. Okay, so this is a bit of a more difficult one, but the correct answer is the black icon with 2 white stripes. So the app is called Wicker. It's not hugely popular in the UK. It's hugely popular in Europe. But yeah, it's kind of like WhatsApp, but it's completely anonymous, and you can select a time limit on how long someone can view your message. And it's used by some businesses to place encrypted conference calls or to share confidential documents as well. So, and then the last one. So this is an app that's designed to make new friends by swiping right or left on their pictures. Now I know it sounds like Tinder. It's not. But it is an app where you swipe right or left on people's pictures based on whether you want to talk to them or not. So the correct answer is the yellow icon that kind of looks like a laughing face. So the app is called Yubo. It's really, really popular at the moment as well. It's quite a new one. Um, and it kind of works like Tinder, but the creators of the app claim that it's to make new friends. But a lot of times it's kind of talked about as Tinder for teens because most of its users are under 18. Okay, so let's see who made it onto the podium. So in third place, we have P. Don't know what your actual name is, but in second place, we have Caitlin. Well done, Caitlin. And in first place, we have LJW. Well done, you guys. Um, so obviously, I don't expect everyone to kind of know all of these. But you have to change all the time, but it is quite interesting to test on how many apps you actually are aware of when working with young people, and all of these are actually very, very popular at the moment. So but for this next part of this activity, I would like you to talk about two of these apps in more detail amongst yourselves in breakout rooms. So I'll give one room Snapchat and one room TikTok, so hopefully kind of together you have enough knowledge around these apps to discuss them. But if you don't, you can always kind of look them up on Google or in the App Store. But before the rooms are open, I'll give you 10 minutes to chat amongst yourselves about them, and then we'll do a really quick feedback session when you come back. What I want you to talk about is why do young people love the app so much? So think of the positives of the app. Is it dog ear filters that are so attractive to young people? Is it maybe making followers, getting attention, being able to follow challenges? So think of all the positives around the app and why it's so popular at the moment. And then also think of some of the risks of young people using this app. So feel free to make notes if you want in your breakout rooms. I'm sure you are aware of how to use the whiteboard function, but you don't have to. You can just chat amongst yourselves. And then when you come back after 10 minutes, I will ask you to kind of share with the rest of us on what you've discussed about these apps. All right, perfect. So welcome back, everyone. Hopefully you've had some interesting discussions amongst yourselves in the rooms. So I will ask you to really quickly share with the rest of us on what you've discussed. So we'll start with room one, who had Snapchat. Would anyone from room one like to share?
I can step in if anyone. Yeah.
Come on, Sam. Take one for the team.
It seems like I'm being nudged forward by others. Okay.
Oh, you would never.
It's like that moment when you're standing in a line and then everyone else steps back and you're the only one. Oh, volunteered. Well done.
Oh, I feel bad now. I'll come forward.
Snapchat is we were just saying actually, we didn't really get onto this until quite late in the conversation. It's primarily a visual app where you send photos to your friends. And it has this great sense of immediacy, and because the photos basically self-destruct after 24 hours, it's a sort of, by design, it's a very current thing. You get the sense of being, the feeling of connectedness to your friends. It's also, and this is like a personal kind of soapbox that I like to get up on, it is designed explicitly to be addictive.
Absolutely, yeah.
But it is also an enriching way, so that people can actually feel in touch with their friends. It does have some strange distorting effects in terms of, we talked about streaks. So this is a kind of a device within, there's kind of it's almost like an Easter egg. It's like a sort of hidden thing that you get rewarded for when it happens. where if you send each other a message within a day, and then you do that multiple days in a row, that's called a streak, and you keep your streak going. And if you miss a day, it resets to 0. So you can imagine in the kind of school social setting, to anybody who isn't familiar with this, it seems like a very trivial thing. It's like, oh yeah, it's a little ditty, whatever. But in certain contexts, those are high stakes.
Absolutely.
It's like a measurable way of seeing how good friends you are, like how long is your streak been going and stuff like that. So people have been reported doing some otherwise, quite unexplainably weird behaviors in order to keep a streak going. So yeah, and then also basically the way Snapchat works is a bit like, if anybody has Instagram, it's like Instagram stories, but it's like that, but on steroids. So like the filters are completely wacky, and yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Sam. You seem to know a lot about Snapchat and how it works, which is
I've
great.
not used it for 10 years.
Me neither, actually. But yeah, no, I think you're very right. It's created to be addictive, and everything that they add on, all the new features that they add on are to make it more and more addictive. So it gets people on it all the time, to use it all the time. But yeah, thank you. Thanks, Sam, and thank you, room number 1. So room number 2 had TikTok. Would anyone from that room like to share?